Hey guys, welcome to the 2.20 patch. A patch that I didn't expect to come this early, but it actually came, and it features a new map, a new TV2 map that, basically just they want to do marketing now, and they didn't want to promote the game on the 4v4 map when it's been played 2v2. So here's a 2v2 map. It has a lot of changes. It looks like the art style is different a little bit. I mean, the art style itself is kind of the same, but it looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit more green on the lanes, where it was before. It was looking very, very sandy, and but it looks pretty clean, and I like it, and it's definitely way better for 2v2. Furthermore, this patch also changes some balance. Basically, every race got changed a little bit, but mostly small changes. Just mech got changed a lot. But we'll talk about that later in the balance updates. So let's get right into it. Legion T2 will be 50% off and feature on the front page of Steam on April 19th at 10 AM PST for 48 hours. That should be 7 PM European time. J Definition Maxime, who's that? Firebat, Rest-Powered, LForward, oh that's me, Akitos, and others will be streaming and creating video content to help promote the game. I didn't sign up for this, but I'm gonna stream anyway. Make sure to support the streams and videos, my videos, and of course the other ways as well, but yeah. And let your friends know about the game. So yeah, game is 50% off right now, so if you had a friend that didn't want to buy it because of the price, 50% is, in my opinion, a pretty big sale. So I would try to talk to your friends again and maybe make them buy it, because I don't know when the next time will be that you have the chance to actually get the game for 50% off. So get your friends. We're so excited to introduce a new official map of Legion T2. The goals are to improve the overall aesthetic and design of the map, optimize assets to improve performance and reduce lag, condense the map to improve information accessibility. We temporarily remove dual building from the game. In the future, if it's re-added, it will be played by sharing a standard lane instead of having a separate mid lane. We added a Mythium gate that prevents units from advancing until both battles have ended on your team. This ensures that the holder can properly catch leaked units. This is currently bugged, by the way. This is why, if you play the game right now, you will probably see that rating changes are off. There was a bug with this. We'll probably talk about that later. But here's a couple of pictures about the new 2-2 map. But in my opinion, you could just check it out. And you could honestly even just play ranked right now if the rating changes are off. Just check it out. And in the last picture, you can also see this new gate. I don't know why it's called Mythium gate. Well, maybe because it's made out of Mythium. I don't know. But it basically, like, if one guy is still fighting, the leaks from the other guy will not make it through yet. And also the fighters are now, the fighters that defended already, they will now port in front of the king on the bridge. It also looks different. The bridge looks way better, to be honest. The old bridge looked really bad. So overall, a lot of changes and, in my opinion, pretty good improvements. Now that Curring is done with the new map, she's back to work on her next Atlantean fighters. So I want to give a big shout out to Curring here, because she worked at Riot Games before as an artist for splash arts, and she did this map, from what I know, in like 2 weeks, and that's impressive. Like, I've already tried around a little bit with Unity, but I can only imagine that it's a little bit more difficult if you do some more complicated projects, and doing this in 2 weeks is insane. I'm pretty sure that Lisk and Jules took a little bit longer on the old map to make it. It's probably a little bit longer than 2 weeks. So this is pretty impressive, and now back to the new fighters that, well, hopefully will come out in 2 weeks as well. I could imagine that making one fighter, but you're also going to do the upgrades, won't take 2 weeks if you can make a map in 2 weeks, but I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, but we will see. Now to the updates, and we start by the HUD. Loading screen improvements. Now shows a border around your avatar that represents last season's rating tier. These borders will be improved in the future. Yeah, it's like, honestly, I saw it in the patch notes and I didn't even notice it in a loading screen. So yeah, I want a bigger border. Like if it's only around the avatar, that's nah. But we will probably have a better loading screen in the future. No longer displays rating or rating changes, but still shows which tier you are in. Okay. No longer displays party status. You can still type ratings in-game to see ratings if you want to. And it no longer shows open slots. Go of this changes to stop showing rating into your face. The reality is that most players will be significantly happier if they just play and not worry that their ally is 50 rating lower or that their opponents are 50 rating higher. In the end, it all balances out. If you have a lower rated ally or higher rated opponents, you will gain more rating if you win and lose less rating if you lose. Highly competitive players that prefer to see exact ratings every game can still type ratings. Yeah, there's ratings. You can still do that if you want to, but it's not that important, and you should focus more on the game and not about the rating. And post-game screen no longer shows ratings, and it longer shows rating changes for losses. Okay, I don't know if that's really... It probably is good at not discouraging people, but I don't know. And you can now use up-down to change graphs. Oh yeah, that's good. That's nice. Further updates to the building grid. Now restricted to your buildable area. Improves gameplay clarity. Yeah, before the building grid was basically everywhere. It felt like it was everywhere during night. You had a building grid on your teammates' lanes. You had it in the middle. You had it in between those where you couldn't even build. So this is way better. Now you have it only on your lane basically, and it also helps to find your lane a little bit easier, I guess. Scoreboard removed the D and A from names. That's basically the defender and attacker. It will be easier to see that now. Anyway, so since we already have several other ways to see this relationship. And the mini scoreboards now shows league goal for both teams, so it's easy to see which team has leagued more. I actually played the game and didn't look at this mini scoreboard for a single time. That kind of sucks, but it's hopefully there. So yeah, nice changes. More improvements to the lobby stability, and then we go into the game updates. Pathing and targeting. Hovering or flying melee units are now no longer always focused before ground melee units. When positioned in front, tanks such as Mudman now more consistently tank before hovering flying units such as Windhawk, Nightmare, Gateguard, and Canopy. So just so you know, Windhawk and Canopy are the flying units here. Nightmare and Gateguard are not flying, but they're hovering. That basically makes pathing a little bit easier. So they can stay closer together and they don't have to walk around all the other creeps to hit something. Not always, at least. For example, if you have a lot of gate guards, then they still have to, because they basically all have this stat. So it just makes it a little bit easier if they have, if you have a lot of mixed units, that the units can start attacking earlier, and yeah, that still the tanks get hit first and not the hovering units. This will probably make me build Nightmare and Doppelganger again, because this is mostly what breaks me, because they have like the same attack range, but they get focused first. So yeah. Leak percent. Fixed the bug where leak percent was incorrect. It was showing numbers that were too high. Okay, I could imagine that this is, for example, on level 10 when you leak the boss with low HP, but it still said 100%. This could be one of these things, I don't know. 44 long game should no longer stop spawning enemies. Increase unit cap to 2000. I'm pretty sure we can, if we really want to, we can break this unit cap as well, but I don't know, maybe. And the selection circle for Leviathan has been decreased so that it's easier to deploy fighters in front of it. I thought that was only me, but yeah, you could, like, you had to zoom really far in to actually play something in front of Leviathan, because you were always clicking on the Leviathan instead. So that's easier now. I'm happy that I was not just dreaming of this. I don't know. But yeah, nice game updates. Now to the balance. Atlantean. Sea Serpent Deep Collar get some extra HP. Element. Disciple and Starcaller now have their mana burst and asteroid damage nerfed. So Disciple from 400 to 300 and Starcaller from 800 to 600. But they now only need 12 mana instead of 15. Overall, this doesn't seem like a big change. So what this does is the initial damage is definitely lower, because they start with full mana. So 100 and 200 damage less on initial. What this mostly is why did this is because you often overkill a lot of stuff. For example, when Disciples or Starcallers were all using their spell on a snail. This is mostly to counter this a little bit. But overall, if they just attack the right target, this is a nerf. This is a small nerf. But we will see. Maybe this actually makes Disciple or Starcaller, but mostly Disciple, a better early game unit, like before wave 10. That's something I could imagine, because it doesn't overkill that much and it has the spell maybe one time more often than before. Some really small changes to Grove as well. Ranger got 1 damage less and Waldschirm has more attack speed. Okay. I didn't have the feeling that Waldschirm or Canopies were too weak, especially because of their recent buffs. But okay, sure. I'm gonna play more Waldschirms if you guys want me to. But now to the big mech changes. Individually, mech's fighters are strong, but the Legion as a whole is weak. One reason for this is that all of their fighters are more expensive, which limits build flexibility. We're decreasing fighter price points, adjusting attack types, making APS MPS stronger early game to make mech feel better to play. APS MPS, I'm going to talk about it later, is probably going to get nerfed again. So if you see the changes later on, they're probably only going to be for today, and then they're going to get changed again. So Pyro loses 1 damage point. Okay. Funny that they say that the fighters are too strong, but in my opinion, the biggest problem with mech is that their cheapest unit is 25 gold, and there's no changes to PV. But I mean, PV has an ability that it can use for 5 gold, so that's kind of okay. Tempest is now Pierce, and the anti-air turret ability is also Pierce. And Leviathan costs less now. It basically costs 210 to upgrade, so 320 in total. It has 100 health less. That's not a big problem. But yeah, damage type and the ability are Pierce now as well. APS and MPS. Both units get their cost reduced. APS now costs 150, which allows for Worker Star if you want to. And MPS costs 275, so in total 425. Both get their damage nerfed and their range nerfed, although range nerf is actually a buff for those units because they're quite tanky, so you kind of want them to tank. But their abilities, Energize, are getting changed. Probably it's going to be fixed already when I put out this video, I don't know. Energize, 16% attack speed is now 10% attack speed and 5 damage. And the MPS spell is, instead of 24% attack speed, 15% attack speed and 10 damage. This means you can buff your Zeus with MPS and APS and they will have 14 damage plus 15. So 29 damage and still attack speed buff. Not as much as before, but they're basically now stronger with MPS APS than they were before when you build Zeus with Rangers. So if you get Rangers as well, let's say you don't play mech, but you can just play mech. Mech is currently like pretty strong. Your Zeus are dealing like 40 damage per hit, and they have higher attack speed. This is far from being balanced. And then you have the small sentence below that. We know that this is a strong synergy with Zeus. If it's OP, we'll nerf it. So as soon as Jules comes online today, I'm pretty sure he will nerf this. he will nerf APS, MPS, I guess, not Zeus. But if it's 3 damage and 6 damage, okay, yeah. I mean, MPS, APS is not that strong anymore with Doomsday, for example. But you gotta still remember they have less range now, so they are kind of stronger now because they tank. They tank better. So, yeah, well, we will see, I guess. But I played one game where I just picked mech and just wanted to try it out. And I didn't do a good start or anything. I actually started APS. But I ended the game on level 21 with 11k value. That's, by the way, the game that is running in the background here right now. But, yeah. It was not... Well, we actually, like, we knew that there were no rating changes, so we actually just wanted to play it to win 21, because one guy still wanted his 10k value badge. He was actually the only one who didn't end up on 10k value. He ended up below. So, well, happens. But, yeah, that's a short story. And, yeah, let's do the next changes, because we're not finished yet with mech. Since Jules mentioned that the units are too costly, that they're too expensive, Berserker gets well, nerfed a little bit, but also 20 gold cheaper, which means you can start with Reworkers now with Berserker, but also health and attack speed nerf. Same for Fatalizer, it's still 360, but yeah, the total cost is a little bit cheaper because Berserker is cheaper. Also small nerfs, but honestly the nerfs on Berserker and Fatalizer are like really minor, and the passive spell isn't really affected by this. Okay, a little bit attack speed on Berserker, but not too important. And Millennium Doomsday got their attack type change again, back to impact, since Tempest is Pierce now. So they were like, yeah, mech should have some more impact again. And yeah, now they're impact, and they're also a little bit cheaper. So Millennium 290, and then the Doomsday cost 425 to upgrade. Still the biggest unit in the game, still the most expensive unit. Some small nerfs that you can see here. Nerfs a little bit in combination with Headchef, also a little bit nerfed in combination with APS MPS, since the plus damage it gives is not really doing too much. But I think this is still a very strong late game unit, Like, they have a lot of damage, and that helps. So yeah, that was the mech changes. We continue with the mercenaries. So Brute gets a little bit damage buff, but Maul attack, the attack speed slow is getting reduced to 10% on 2% to King, simply because it was a little bit overused. Honestly, it was a little bit overused. Now you can still attack speed slow enemies. You probably need, I don't know. I guess also the max stacks have been reduced, but it doesn't say that here. So you could still send them. They're still pretty strong. They're still stronger than a Dragon Turtle, but you lose that income, and yeah, I mean, they were probably just too strong before. And Dragon Turtle gets 10 HP more. That's, well, usually arcane tanks aren't too beneficial. Like, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be used more. Probably not. And Forest gets some health buffs and attack speed buff. Health buff, not too important on Forest because it usually gets attacked last unless you send it on a ranged wave. But attack speed, yeah, it's helping a little bit, but Forest still seems very weak. And now to the last change, the waves. Basically just small buffs for 19, 20, and 21. I don't know if the HP buff on 19 really makes something. I think they should rather buff the damage. 20 gets some more attack speed. Well, honestly, 70 seems pretty weak right now. If you have like Mass Harbinger, you can just perma-stun the boss on 20, but you're gonna suck on 21, that's what I can tell you. But yeah, some attack speed buff is gonna help a little bit. But yeah, also Doomsday very strong against 20. Legion King has been buffed a little bit. Honestly, really only a minor buff. It's not too much. This may look like a lot, but I just fought against level 21 again today, and well, I held the first, second, and third wave, and I also had big sense. But yeah, I had mass Doomsday, so I guess, yeah, I don't know. Probably bad example because they're probably the best late game unit. Well, Phoenix is also pretty good, but yeah, those two units. But yeah, that's it. That's all the changes. Now, as a small resume, I would say 2v2 map looks pretty interesting. You should check it out. It's probably still gonna get changed a little bit. I don't like that the lanes are so green when you were so used to your sandy ground before. So I don't know. They can probably change that out pretty quickly if people don't like it. Like right now, I think it's okay, but I think the ground on the lanes could look a little bit better. It doesn't look too detailed in my opinion. The rest of the map looks kind of good. I don't know the Mythium Gate if I think it's something good, a good addition, but if it stays bugged, then they have to do something. And then the other change as well, the Steam sale. Don't forget, guys, 50% off Legion TD2 today, starting 7 p.m. I think, and then 48 hours. And it's being marketing. It gets marketing push right now. So people are streaming it. For example, I'm streaming right now. I don't know if I'm gonna put another video or not. And a couple of big streamers and YouTubers are also doing stuff. And it's on the front page of Steam. So yeah, there's that. So a couple of changes. which were like one day before the big marketing push. I don't know if that's. I mean, yeah, having the 2v2 amp is cool now, but balance changes. There's going to be a hot fix. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a hot fix, and I'm going to tell you about it. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. See you on Twitch today, I guess.